What would you do if I told you that everything you've been waiting for is already inside you? Millions of people wake up every day believing that life owes them something. That someday, someone will knock on their door with the big opportunity. But that door doesn't exist. Because opportunity doesn't arrive, it manifests, and that manifestation is you. Do you really think you were born to wait? To beg for a place in the system? No. You were born to break patterns, to trigger disruptions, to create paths where none exist. The greatest self-deception is thinking that success depends on external factors. Family, government, luck, country, contacts. All that may influence, but doesn't determine. Because those who position themselves as creators don't depend on what happens, they decide what's going to happen. Many still don't get it. You are the opportunity. It's not about finding something outside. It's about awakening something within. Think about it. How many times have you let situations pass, believing it wasn't the right time, that you lacked structure, or that someone needed to help you first? Meanwhile, others, less prepared than you, acted and won. Because they understood that acting imperfectly is far more powerful than waiting for perfection. And more, for those who understand they are the gateway to change, everything becomes a bridge. What once looked like a problem becomes raw material. What once looked like an end becomes a new beginning. The key is accessing the right environments and understanding how the system works. This is like a game. Those who know the rules play better. Those who learn the system's language, financial, business, emotional, start navigating with direction, not just survival. It doesn't matter where you come from. What matters is who you decide to be from now on. Those who assume they are the opportunity stop begging for validation and start building legacy. Now comment below, what are you waiting for someone to give you, but deep down, you already know you can create? What if I told you that success is not a divine revelation, but a construction based on trial and error? There's a lie that paralyzes millions, the idea that you first need the perfect idea before starting. They wait for the ideal product, the ideal partner, the ideal moment. But the real world doesn't reward those who wait. It rewards those who test. You're not here to be a spectator of someone else's success. You're here to be the lab and the alchemist at the same time. Test, fail, adjust, scale. That's the real process of those who prosper. To stop testing is to start dying. Because every test is a seed. Some sprout, others don't. But the most productive field isn't the prettiest, it's the most seeded. While you're thinking about creating the perfect product, others are launching simple solutions that solve real problems. And you know what happens? The market responds to those who solve, not to those who theorize. The most common mistake is believing you need complete clarity before moving. False. Clarity comes from movement. It's not about waiting for something to work before starting, but starting so that it works. Those who create consistently accelerate learning. Every product, every service, every attempt brings you closer to understanding what works and what doesn't. And that, in the end, is worth more than any theoretical plan. The great ones aren't those who got it right from the beginning. They're the ones who failed so many times they eventually learned how to get it right. So here's a challenge. In the next 7 days, what product, service, or idea could you launch, even if just as a test? Don't wait for validation. Launch. Adjust. Learn. Launch again. The world doesn't need hidden geniuses. It needs bold problem solvers. Are you building a ladder, or a catapult? There are two ways to grow, linearly and exponentially. Most people are stuck in the first. They climb step by step, year after year, hoping that one day the effort will translate into freedom. But that's not scale. That's burnout. Pablo Markel draws a sharp line between those who grow traditionally and those who build ecosystems. Because ecosystems don't depend solely on you. They are living structures that generate value, even while you sleep. And here's the secret, real wealth isn't in high income. It's in building systems that self-sustain, that grow with or without your direct presence. Like compound interest, which seems slow at first, until one day it explodes. Jeff Bezos didn't become the world's richest man by selling books. He did it by building an ecosystem that connects sellers, buyers, logistics, data, and services. Each part feeds the other. That's exponential scale. The question isn't how much you earn today. The question is, are you building something that can multiply without you? Many entrepreneurs make the mistake of building a golden cage. They earn more, but remain trapped. No structure, no delegation, no ecosystem vision. They become slaves to their own business. To move toward billions, you must think like an investor, not an executor. You invest time, energy, resources, but not to stay busy. You do it to design something that multiplies. Map out your current business or idea. What are the connection points? What parts could work together and generate synergy? What can you automate, delegate, or scale? You don't have to be Bezos. But you need to stop thinking like someone just climbing stairs. It's time to build your catapult. What if the problem you're facing today is actually the lever that will launch you? There's something winners have mastered, using adversity as fuel. While many freeze, others rise stronger. The difference? It's not the size of the problem, it's the attitude toward it. Problems are the raw material of business. Why? Because where there's pain, there's need. And where there's need, there's opportunity. Look closely, the world's greatest solutions weren't born from comfort. They were born from chaos. Airbnb came from a financial crisis. Uber from a mobility problem. Amazon from a saturated market. It wasn't peace that propelled them. It was pressure. And you, how many times have you tried to escape the fire, when you should have entered and forged yourself into steel? Those who run from problems become spectators. Those who face them become protagonists. Every crisis you confront with determination trains you for the next. And the higher your response capacity, the greater your authority to lead. Do this today, look at your current hardest situation. It could be financial, emotional, professional. Ask yourself, what opportunity is hidden inside this? What can I create, serve, or improve from this chaos? Nothing moves us more than well-directed pain. Adversity doesn't come to destroy you. It comes to push you toward a version of yourself you've never met. Real growth doesn't happen when everything's fine. It happens when, despite everything, you choose to move forward. How long will you keep blaming the system? Yes, taxes are high. Yes, bureaucracy is absurd. Yes, the government often seems more like an obstacle than a help. But here's a hard truth: continuing to blame the environment is the perfect excuse to avoid taking control. Those who truly want to grow stop waiting for the system to change, and learn to play within it. You can't control the rules, but you can master them. And that starts with something many ignore: tax intelligence, strategic planning, business vision. It's not sexy, it's not viral, but it's what separates those who thrive from those who merely survive. The victim mindset says, nothing can be done in this country. The leadership mindset says, how can I play this game better than anyone? Stop repeating defeatist speeches and start learning the system's keys. Learn how to file taxes, how to invest, how to protect your assets. Educate yourself about taxes, business models, and how to make money work for you. A real entrepreneur doesn't fight the system. They understand it, adapt, and surpass it. Because they know that those who depend on the government, the economy, the dollar, or the algorithm will always be slaves to something external. Make this commitment today: stop complaining and start preparing. Every hour you spend learning how legal, financial, and business structures work, you're shielding yourself against scarcity. Freedom isn't doing whatever you want. It's knowing how to move wisely even when conditions aren't ideal. Did you know your current environment is already shaping your future, whether you realize it or not? Pablo Markel insists on something many people overlook: your environment is an invisible incubator. It can accelerate your growth, or slowly crush it. Being in the wrong place, with the wrong people, is like planting a seed in concrete. It never blossoms. Have you ever wondered why some people explode with results after changing their environment? It's not luck. It's frequency. It's connection. It's code. Because environments have vibration. Some lift you, others drain you. And here's something strong: if you're the smartest, most visionary, or most ambitious person in your circle, you're in the wrong circle. Opportunities don't always show up with a bright sign. Sometimes they appear as a conversation at an event, an unexpected collaboration, a purposeful friendship. That's why you need to show up. Move. Be present where things are happening. The mistake is wanting to be seen in places where your language isn't spoken. Stop trying to convince those who aren't ready to see. Instead, get close to those who are already building. Those who think in scale, in service, in impact. And more importantly, when you enter a powerful environment, don't come to ask. Come to serve. Those who add value first earn respect, alliances, and real opportunities. Do this today: make a list of 5 people who are at a level you admire. What value could you offer them without asking for anything in return? That could be the start of a connection that transforms your destiny. Your environment is your mirror. If you don't like what you see, don't settle, change it. What's the use of dreaming about a destination if you don't know your next step? Millions of people have great visions: financial freedom, global impact, life purpose. But they're stuck. Why? Because they confuse vision with direction. And without direction, they go in circles. Vision is the lighthouse. It shows where you're going. But direction is the step you take today. Without steps, there's no progress. Only desire. Pablo Marcel says many people received their vision years ago, but they're still sitting, waiting for a heavenly confirmation. What they don't understand is that vision without movement rots. It turns into frustration. Into weight. Your progress doesn't depend on how big your dream is, but on how firm your decision is to move, no matter how small or clumsy the step. A powerful vision without direction is like having a GPS with no battery. You know where you want to go, but you don't know how to get out of where you are. Ask yourself this now: what is the smallest, most concrete, and most urgent step I can take today toward my vision? You don't need to solve everything in a week. You need to decide, every day, to move forward. Because when direction is constant, progress is inevitable. And beware of self-deception, the paralysis disguised as eternal planning. Sometimes, reviewing the vision over and over isn't strategy, it's fear in disguise. Remember this: every step you take toward your vision, no matter how small it seems, activates the future you deeply desire. Who are you giving your attention to, and in exchange for what? We live in the age of premium distraction. Every notification, every scroll, every harmless piece of content on social media is a drop of your mental energy being drained without you noticing. And Pablo Marcel drops a harsh truth: many don't move forward not because of lack of talent, but because they're being held hostage by the algorithm. Your focus is your most valuable asset. But if you give it away to empty entertainment, digital gossip, or content that doesn't build you, don't be surprised when life doesn't move. Because where your attention goes, your energy flows. And where your energy flows, that's what grows. The modern trap isn't failure. It's constant entertainment that makes you feel busy, stimulated, but completely unproductive. You can't afford to be distracted like the majority. Because you're not part of the herd. You're a creator. And creators need silence, intention, and focus. Do this exercise today: check your phone. How many hours did you spend this week on apps that add nothing to your life? How many videos did you watch that left you the same, or worse? It's not just lost time. It's a stalled destiny. The difference between those who prosper and those who complain isn't always talent. Often, it's the intentional use of attention. Start protecting your focus like it's gold. Because it is. What do you think generates more opportunities, asking or provoking? There's a silent mindset that sabotages the success of thousands every day: the "someone owes me" mentality. They enter high-frequency environments and the first thing they do is ask. They ask for opportunities, for recommendations, for help, but give nothing first. Here's a brutal key: the real door opens when you show up creating value, not asking for favors. Picture this: you walk into a room full of influential, high-level, visionary people. What impact does someone make when they come in with a problem in hand, expecting others to solve it? Now picture someone who walks in with a solution, with a proposal for improvement, with something that lifts the room. Who do you think they'll welcome? The world isn't looking for more dependents. It's looking for multipliers. People who add, who solve, who anticipate needs and act. If you approach someone with more experience or resources than you, don't come to ask, come to serve. Ask questions, research, find out what they're missing, and be the one to deliver it. Do this today. Think of 3 key people in your network or industry. What can you create, improve, or facilitate for them without expecting anything in return? That kind of relational investment can yield more than any direct request. And what if I told you this isn't theory, but lived experience? From failures, attempts, closed doors, and key decisions, he built businesses, moved crowds, and expanded internationally, without waiting for someone to give him a chance. Every business he built came from a crisis. Every leap he took was in the midst of uncertainty. He didn't wait for perfect conditions. He created them. He didn't wait for external validation. He provoked it with results. At one of his lowest points, when most would have quit, he chose to move forward. And that decision, with no guarantees, led him to scale his message, impact millions, and prove that success is a consequence of courage, not context. But this isn't about him. It's about you. Because just like he used adversity as raw material to create something new, you can too. You don't need to have all the answers, you just need to start with what you have and keep going until you see results. Your story isn't written. It's being created. And what you choose to do today could be the first chapter of your total transformation. Now ask yourself, what business, project, or movement could you start today from your own story? The world won't give you permission. But you don't need it either. From everything you've seen so far, here's one truth you can't ignore. You don't need more motivation. You need decision. It doesn't matter your past, your surroundings, or your lack of resources. Because once you realize you are the opportunity, you start moving with a force that nothing can stop. And now, it's up to you. You decide if this was just another video, or the breaking point that changes your story forever. Take action today. Not tomorrow. Today. Comment below, what chapter challenged you the most? What will you do with what you've learned? Share this video with someone who needs to hear this. Like it if something inside you lit up. And subscribe, because we're not here to entertain, we're here to awaken sleeping giants. The world doesn't need more people waiting. It needs creators, builders, fire starters. And if you've made it this far, it's because you're already ready. See you at the top.